today we are going to discuss about introduction to object-oriented programming concepts, principles of object-oriented programming. So basically, this chapter we are going to discuss about what is procedure-oriented and object-oriented. Before we go into procedure-oriented and object-oriented, let us understand the concept of object and class. What do you mean by an object? An object basically is nothing but an entity that has state and behavior is known as an object. For example, a chair, a pen, a table, a keyboard, anything which is having a real life entity that will be called as an object. Okay, it can be physical or logical. So object is can be defined as an instance of a class. It contains an address and takes up some memory space. Okay, so it can give and take messages. It can communicate with each other. Like example, a dog is an object because it has traits like color, name, breed. Okay, it has various behaviors like wagging the tail, barking, eating, etc. So we can say a dog is an object. Similar type, you can say anything like a fan is an object, a mobile phone is an object. This will be called as an object. Next concept is class. Now, what do you mean by class? Class is collection of objects. So it is a logical entity. A class can also be defined as a blueprint from which you can create individual objects. So class can't consume or doesn't consume any space. So here we will say a collection of objects will be called as a class. Now let's come to the difference between procedure oriented and object oriented. So under procedure oriented, what happens is a program is divided into smaller parts or segments, and that is called as procedure oriented. Whereas object-oriented programming, a program is represented as in a form of an object. Like example, we may write a program for students where we may have a class called student, which is acting as a template where the data members would be roll number, name, etc. And methods or whatever the related functions with the student would be accepting the details about the student, displaying the result that would be considered to be there. So this is what is a program is written in the form of an object. Now in procedure oriented programming, more importance is given to the program rather than the data. Whereas in object oriented programming, more importance is given to the data rather than the program. Procedure oriented programming, it follows a top down approach. Okay, whereas object oriented programming, it follows a bottom up approach. What are the examples for procedure oriented? Examples are C, Fortran, Pascal, Basic. Whereas for object oriented programming, the examples are C++, Java, Python, C Sharp, etc. So I hope everyone is clear with this. We have understood what is class, what is the object, what is the difference between procedure oriented and object oriented. Let us go ahead with the object oriented concept. The very first concept is inheritance. Now what does the mean? What is the meaning of inheritance? When one object acquires all the properties and behavior of a parent object, it is known as inheritance. Like example, we may have a base class animal and wild animal. We may have two derived classes. One is wild animal, another is pet animal. Under wild animal, we may have some more animals. Like what are the wild animals under wild? So we have tiger, lion, leopard. Now tiger will have all the characteristics of wild animal. Same way, it will also have all the characteristics of an animal. Okay, so we need not write the code again and again. Once you write the characteristics, common characteristics in animal, same will be inherited by the tiger class or lion class or leopard class. Whatever the characteristics of a wild animal, that all will be present over here. Same way, if we take cat, dog, and wolf, these are pet animals. So we may write some common characteristics which are there in pet animal in this class, which is pet animal. And same thing, we don't have to write it again and again. Okay, only we need to derive it from the pet animal. So this is what is inheritance. The main idea is reusability of code. We write the code once and it is reused by the derived classes. This is called as a base class and these are your derived classes. Or this is your class and this is your subclasses. Okay. Next is polymorphism. Polymorphism simply means one name, many forms. Okay, like here we can say we can draw something to convince a customer differently. We can draw various shapes. It can be circle, triangle, rectangle, anything. Okay, another example we can say is if you want to speak, okay, different animals would use different way of speaking. Or the best example we can say for polymorphism is a dog. Okay, you may have a pet dog at your place. Okay, if someone comes to your house, if the person is a stranger, the dog behavior will be different. The dog would bark at that stranger. But if he's a friend, okay, the dog would wag his tail or the behavior will be different. So the dog is same, but the behavior will depend on the situation. Okay, this is what is polymorphism. Next is abstraction. Abstraction is hiding the internal details and showing the functionality. Like best example is your mobile phone. We call a person with a mobile phone, but we don't what we actually don't know how it is working. We don't know the internal mechanism. So that is what is abstraction. Another example is like a television is there. We may have a manual. We know how to use it. The manual is given to show how we are supposed to use that particular television or any other device. But we will not be given what is the internal mechanism. So that is what is hidden from the user. That is called as abstraction. Next is encapsulation. Encapsulation is nothing but you are wrapping or binding the data and code together. Like example we can say is for a student, we may have the related data. For a student, the related data would be roll number, name, address, phone number, all his related data would be kept into a class student. Okay. And the related methods like accepting the data of the student, calculating the result, displaying the result, that together will be kept inside the class student. So this is what is encapsulation. Encapsulation means what we are doing is we are binding the code and data, that is wrapping of everything like the data members as well as the methods together into one class. That is called as encapsulation. So in real life, there are various examples. So these are your object-oriented concepts. First one is abstraction, where we may have a manual. Okay, and for the television, we may with the manual we can come to know how to use that particular device, but we will not know what is the internal mechanism. Okay, inheritance, like a child is there, he would inherit all the properties from his parents, like the color of the hair, the color of his eyes. That is what is inheritance. Encapsulation, the login process, how the internal mechanism happens, we are not aware. We are using the ATM, but we don't know how the internally how it is working, how the data goes to the server, how your password is validated. Nothing is told to us. We are only using that particular ATM machine to withdraw our cash or do any other transaction. That is what is encapsulation. Login validation is there. Okay. Or we can say together it is kept. Then we have polymorphism. We have like we may have a oven. Now that oven is used for multi-purpose. You can prepare cake also, or you can prepare some other recipe also. So that is what is polymorphism. The oven is same, but it is able to uh, make different types of recipes. So this is what is polymorphism. I hope everyone is clear with this. Thank you, everyone.